The V with thumb, yeah. But that's like a really good bind. It's like editing with pinky. Like people pinky edit back in the day, like on shift, and it was really good because.
Yeah, it was good, but it was insane to do.
Yeah, maybe it hurt.
Yeah, but.
You guys play edit release?
Yeah, I do.
Both you do, okay. I mean, dude, edit release on keyboard lets you fucking fly, but on controller, I hate it.
Oh, you confirm?
Yeah, I do. Even when I play keyboard, like right now, I'm fucking cranking. I just haven't changed it. I like for back in the day, whatever. I was like, I basically was like, I need to get good enough on keyboard to where like if I put my controller down in a game, because I was literally horrible. I was like, if I pick my controller down in game and pick up a keyboard, I have to be able to like defend myself if someone like fucking is landing on my head, like for at least a second. Like I have to be able to like box up properly and then pick up my controller again. So I was grinding like crazy.
Talk, bro. I'm about to go to the gym.
Is there any way you could leave if they randomly pull it back up?
Yeah, I mean, if they reschedule it, I could be home. Gym's only 10 minutes away.
I started edit with G. Oh,
That's a quick edit to it.
with G. I hate.
Yeah.
Kind of hate that bind, but also like I guess like I could see it being decent.
It's just kind of like V. It's just
Dude,
like one
Savage
key
used to
up.
edit with Y.
Yeah, I remember that.
That shit
What?
should get you
He used to
banned.
use the middle of his keyboard.
Yeah, there was a long time where when he was like one of the best players in the game, like he literally would edit with Y, and I think he ended up changing all his binds, or at least his edit bind, because people were like, dude, like that is the worst bind like ever. But he was so good. What do the boys think about right click select to edit with edit on release? Right click select to edit instead of
Yeah, why
left
right?
click? Chap did that for a while. He was like theory crafting a way that right click could be better, and I don't remember if he ever like came up with like a good enough reason to do it. But for a while, like a lot of people were trying that right click. Like there were a couple good players that did it.
If it works, it works. But
Yeah, I just don't know why it would be.
You just have to get completely used to something different.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did on controller. I with Miro's binds, he edits with, and I copy them. He fucking selects his edit with the bumper instead of the trigger, so I do too now.
Oh, what?
And I had to switch my muscle memory for 5 years of Fortnite, 6 years of Fortnite for that. But it's honestly fine. It's like not bad.
All right, I'm at least gonna take a shower.
Yeah, go for it. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna say anything. I don't know if they'll even be today. If I feel like it's getting too late, and I mean, it's too bad, I'll literally just go home, and I can always drive back, but I'm a 30-minute drive, so I'm fine for now. I mean, I'll stay on it for a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 5 is like
a good time to just call it if they ever said anything.
wait. So what are the other cups tonight?
I think there was like a reload one maybe.
It's duos and squads, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But who knows if those are even gonna work properly, like.
Yeah, right. Because you could cause what, Flappy? Cause like because you could cause the you click edit. What are you saying, bro? You gotta lock in here, man. You gotta lock in. I need a rephrase of this. I read that 3 times. I'm so easy to tell people. I'm so quick to tell people that it's meta to switch to keyboard and then won't do it myself.
I mean, yeah, it's just a decent amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, Miro, for someone like Miro, I was like, dude, why would you not switch? Like, you barely stream, like, as is, and you could just play all the events on controller until you get good enough. No one even know. Like, you can just switch in private. He's already, like, pretty good. You could place builds with left click and edit with right click. Place builds with left click. Yeah, I think that's what Chap was trying to work on, like, forever ago. I guess the reason would be like why. I don't really. I feel like he'd be the best ever. I like can't picture it right now because I've been off keyboard for so long. This is the first time I've touched my keyboard on Fortnite in probably 2.5, 3 years. The only thing not only thing, I love how like consistent you can be with like your tile selecting on keyboard. Not that you can't be that on controller. Some people are. I'm just not as good with it.
Have you ever tried it on release on controller?
Yeah, I did it for a little bit, and it just isn't worth it because everyone on controller uses. I mean, not that it's not worth it because it might just be good for people to free up binds because controller's like a clunky. I mean, like it's just I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot on it, so I think the one reason to use it is like like make your hands have less to do. But I feel like it just isn't worth it because one, you can't obviously like hold the edits like you would like in a competitive type of way, like a strategic way. I think that's the same goes for keyboard. That's why people don't all use it on release, even though a lot of people do. But then the main thing is just double edit binds. Like when you play controller, did you ever have double edit binds?
No, I didn't. Like 2 different edit binds.
Yeah, like your edit and confirm are different. Like on keyboard, everyone uses. No one really uses double edit binds because I think it ruins your. What is it? What's the reason? I forget why. There's a reason people don't use it. It might like mess with your scroll wheel or something. I don't know. That can't be it. I forget the reason, but I know for a while there was like a maybe Raider or like someone was like messing around with double edit binds on keyboard where you'd like maybe like mouse click or something, or and then you'd like confirm the edit with like a different button than what you'd edit it with.
I think you're right about it messing with.
It messed up something. Wheel. Does it mess up a scroll wheel? It could be.
Because you need scroll wheel in that slot.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it then. Because on controller, like I edit with my touchpad right now with my left index finger, and I confirm with my right trigger right now. So like it's just like an insta press. Like I press them both almost at the same exact time.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for like it to.
Yeah, you don't like I don't have to press F fucking twice, or you don't have to press like V twice. Like I just think it's so like you can be so fast and precise on controller. I feel like it's just the way to go. I don't really know any good controller players. I mean, there are a lot of good controller players on edit release, but I think the main ones are just on not edit release.
You know Reed's on?
Yeah, Reed doesn't play edit release.
I didn't even know that.
I used to get into arguments with Miro back in chapter 2 when we'd play about it. He'd be like, bro, I just don't know what I should play. Like sometimes I play it on release and sometimes I switch back, and I think he ultimately ended up sticking with out edit on release because it's just on controller. It's really just not worth it. I feel like unless you're unless you feel like you again are like flustered and have a lot going on and want to like just like free up your hands a little bit and have one less bind to press. Like I get it. I had a lot of friends who were fucking gross at the game of controller with that on release, but I don't know. Not really. I just feel like it's not better.
For keyboard, it's just like it's mainly preference, honestly.
No,
you
definitely.
Can still have good movement and like angles with it.
No, you definitely can. It on release is better. You're pressing an extra button, plain and simple. See, I think you're just wrong. That's literally not how. Like you're either okay. Yeah, but if you can handle pressing the extra button, Jago, I'm not gonna argue for keyboard. Like I said, I think edit on release for keyboard could be argued better just because you don't have to press the same button twice. But if you could do a separate edit bind like you do on controller, like double edit binds, it is absolute. I think it would absolutely be beneficial for keyboarders to use that second edit bind without messing up their scroll wheel. They would, because like you could be fast as edit on release, and you could be without pressing the same key twice. I'm not wrong. It's actually input on controller. No, you are wrong, and I know you're wrong. Like I've done that. This is all I used to talk about for fucking 3 years. I promise. This was my whole brand, was just bitching about controller and deciding what was like better. And like edit on release is great, yes, it's an extra button. But what I used to say to like get it through people's heads is kind of like, if you're gonna hold down, so what you edit. Let's say for example, you edit with edit on release is not slow. It's not slow. It is an extra one less button press technically, but think about it like this: if I edit with touchpad and I go tap, like I tap touchpad, and then I press RT to select the edit. So if I was on edit and release, I'd go touchpad, RT, let go. So in that time, you can tap and like, or hold it and let go. You can also like, once you get to the end of your edit, how do I like explain this properly? Like, I used to use like a desk slam example almost. Like, what's faster, slapping the desk for however long you have to slap it and then letting go, or like two hands coming down at almost the exact same time? Like, you can have a literal millisecond between that, and then you also have more control. Like, I just don't get why it's, I don't think it's worth it. I feel like I could explain that a bit better or more detail, but I feel like it makes sense also.
It's technically faster than, right? The way you're explaining it.
I would think so, right? Like, imagine like, because you have to hold it down here. I can pull up the regular. I think it's faster, truly. I do. If you're like good with it and have good minds and consistent, like just a good player, I think it would be. I felt like one of the reasons I didn't like edit and release is because my double edits were slow. I think my timing was just bad, but it's like I'm picturing like a wall. Like, if I want to edit this wall, I'm pressing edit and I'm holding my this button, and I have to let it go, like no matter what. So I would imagine it's about the same, just with more control. Like, if I'm doing this and I have to let go here, then I'm holding that button down for the same amount of time. Imagine I'm doing that, and instead of letting go, I'm just clicking whenever I get to that last tile. Like, it's the same exact thing, but you are allowed that like edit control where like I can hold this wall and look to the fucking, I can hold this wall, put a right hand peek, spin in a circle, hit a fucking emote, run to the left. You know what I mean? Like, what would be, I feel like on controller it's like a no-brainer. I used to argue about this literally, I'm not kidding, fucking 5 hours a day. It was so stupid.
You also can't like scroll wheel bail on controller.
Yeah,
So,
that makes me depressed.
You need to make the right edit.
Mm-hmm. That makes me sad, bro. I want scroll wheel sober. I just want scroll wheel, like, functions removed from fucking removed from Fortnite, but that'll obviously never happen.
Yeah.
Just like the skill gap of having to press 3 buttons to reset like the game intended makes so much sense. Like, you have to pick up the edit, fucking, you know, you gotta pick it up, reset, and confirm, and you guys just get to flick that thing. Like, God, like,
Yeah.
so jealous.
Don't people put a scroll wheel on their controller? Like, I swear I've seen that, like a wheel on
Oh my
the
God,
controller.
bro. I got sent those things like years ago from like Plus Gear. Company was really cool, like really nice, and he was sending to me, and it like, dude, it broke in like an hour and like hurt my finger, but I made a YouTube video on it and I played with it on stream for a little bit, and then it broke, and I was like, wow, and my finger was hurting, so he sent me like a new one, and I used it and it broke again, but it was like a softer material. Like, I was giving them feedback and shit, and I was like, okay, like it literally hurts, like it needs to be like softer, like less painful, but it still broke, and I was like, you know what, it's just not worth getting used to like a cheap plastic scroller that is just gonna like break, and then I'm gonna have to remember how to fucking reset when I get used to it. Like, I'd have to have fucking 50 of them on deck.
Yeah.
Also, like, you have to find a spot on your controller that's like comfortable. What up? What, Maddie? I'm gonna repeat myself again. All the best players use edit on release. You're adding extra input to make slower, which is going to make you slower than someone who knows how to peek properly on edit and release. Peterbot also told me this on stream. Okay, Peterbot, just because he's really fucking good or even the best doesn't mean he is like, and again, he's on keyboard. Like, I would be playing edit on release on keyboard, but playing on controller with double edit binds is why Peterbot doesn't understand the point. I think even if he is like making a good point or whatever, like, having double edit binds is faster, or even if it's not faster, it's the exact same speed with more control. Like, I don't even think there's a good argument to say like edit and release is genuinely faster on controller, but on keyboard I could see it being faster, unless you had double edit binds. Then I would say it's probably faster to have double edit binds. But it messes up your scroll wheel, so no one uses it. Is it canceled? Probably. The same theory you can explain with triggers isn't relevant because it can be done on keyboard, and keyboard players have argued the same points you make. What can be done on keyboard? He's the most optimal, and you can do the same peaks with edit and release. Double edit binds are relevant. No, you literally can't do the same peaks with edit and release. Like, that's not, you can't do, there's so many things you can't do on edit and release. Not that, like, it's not, you can, of course, like, play for those peaks and get like a good understanding of the peaks down, but you literally can't do the same shit. Or even if you do, your crosshair placement is affected by it. Like, say you make that like peanut butter, like you make a right hand peak like this, like you have to look up. Whereas like if the wall's like half broken like this, I know exactly where he is. I can make the edit, stare at him. I'm looking at his head right now and jump up and shoot. Whereas on edit and release, you just have to like, you already have to be running, make the edit, and then stare at him. Like, it's just a crosshair. It's a slight thing, but it is definitely, I mean, I don't even understand how you could argue that it's like more optimal or less optimal than that. Like, it is worse. You can't make the exact same peaks. You can make the same peaks, but it's not as like, you don't have as much control over your crosshair, which is like the entire point. I thought that was like the main reason for edit and release off. It is. The only reason for edit and release off is because your ability to make like smarter peaks or just like have better crosshair placement on peaks is a thing. Like, I get that really good players play on edit and release, but that doesn't make it better. Yeah, but you're ultimately always going to be slower. That's literally not, bro. Oh my god. If you're on keyboard, yes. If you're on controller, absolutely not. That's just not true. Like, I don't know how to express the, like, it's just wrong. It's just not slow, not faster to be on edit and release. But on keyboard, I think you're correct. I think on keyboard it is probably faster to be on edit and release just because you don't have double edit binds. But if keyboarders could use double edit binds without fucking up their scroll wheel, they would absolutely do it. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot here. I'm on keyboard, I'm playing controller for 5 years. You've been playing controller for 5 years, and I'm telling you, you're wrong. Like, it doesn't even, like, it's like a, again, it's the argument of like, do you press the button and let it go, or do you press two buttons at the identical times? One being a literal nano millisecond apart. Section button to press, yes. I can agree to disagree. You can, I mean, you can agree to disagree, but I agree you're wrong. If that's the, it's that, like, you can disagree, but it doesn't, like, you know, I'm down, you know. It is not even an extra button press. I mean, it is, but it's not because of the, like, having to let go. Like, pressing and letting go on a controller is the exact same thing as just tapping two buttons, basically, at the same time. If anything, again, I think I can make the argument that it's literally faster to not be on edit and release. Thinking of double keybinds on keyboard now that lock input method is mouse is fixed. You can remap one keyboard key to a button and have that button bound to confirm in edit mode. Pretty sure it's allowed since people used to. Maybe, I have no idea. I haven't, like I said, I haven't touched keyboard in just so long. Wait, who got egoed? What up, bro? Someone get egoed? I missed it. What's good, Jat?
No, I'm tripping. I meant to send that to my friend.
Oh, I was like,
I need to put that in your chat.
I was like, what? If you try to get me to switch, I was like, no. Yeah, I mean, if you're on keyboard, I mean, I get why you'd play it on release 100%. Like, I would play it on release most likely if I went to keyboard just because it's way fast. Like, it's fast and it's just easier. But on controller, that's just not the case. Like, that's just, it literally, it just isn't. Miro and Reet primarily also use, don't use edit on release. I believe it is Abyss. I'm gonna try it too. We'll see though, depending on where I'm at. I might have to like tweet and like reschedule it. Also got a software literally suck butt. Dude, it is so frustrating. My foot pedal breaks every 3 days, I swear. What up, boy? Premise and noise. What's its distinction? It's kind of like a card game thing. Like, so I'm gonna be basically streaming on it. Again, I'm not allowed to tell you guys the amount of time I have to legally stream on it, or I'm obligated to. But let's just say I'll be on there approximately 4 times a month, once a week, 4 times a month for, I would say, what is it, 5 hours a week, and then other times I'll be doing exclusive or non-exclusive streams, kind of, or what am I saying, non-exclusive streams with Twitch. So it's basically like a card game thing. Like, I could go on and describe it to some of you guys right now. Like, you guys have cards and you play predictions, and like, say you're like, next kill Collazo gets will be a headshot, or with a shotgun, let's just say that, and then that card will last for like a minute or two. And the longer, like, say I get a kill with a headshot or a shotgun right away, that card will give you like a certain amount of points. The longer, in like the less time left on that timer, the more points you get. And like those points, I'm not exactly fully sure about what you can do with those points. I think you can spend them on stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's honestly kind of like a cool concept. You can kind of like bet on my gameplay. Yes, predicting, yeah, you're betting on my downfall, or you're betting on my come up. What the fuck? I mean, this game's literally ass. Like, what am I stuck on? Yeah, I have a bunch of those Yappas. And using the turning, literally nope. Vertex is hitting the weights right now. They're betting I'm in. It is kind of cool. I've been in there for Madison streams, and she like, I'm like betting in there. So I mean, it is cool. Genuinely, it's kind of funny. Like, for communication, yeah, it's top tier. Madison, I think AV trying to get you to switch to edit and release might be like the funniest thing I've heard in my entire life. Or sorry, not edit and release. AV was one of the people I used to have these conversations with the most, and he's like one of the smartest people I've ever met. And we both like came to the conclusion after literally months of trying like both, that it's just like, I think even just based on theory, not as good for controller, even though it was good. But AV would argue, AV would agree with me 100%. What is all these streaming if the cash app's canceled? I think maybe like Trio Scream soon. Should I play on keyboard, mouse, and controller? Keyboard. My big message on my bed. Yeah, it's kind of cool, Jet. Like I said, I'll be on it, and people can sign up and like come into the stream and watch and learn how it works and stuff. The same goes for right click, select, edit, hear me out. So you place a wall with left click. All right, PM, I need you to lock in here and listen to this, because see if you get it. Because as a keyboarder, I don't know if I can. I literally don't know if I can like feel it. Like you'll be able to feel it. He said, so the same goes for right click, select, edit. Hear me out. So you place a wall with left click. You release left click so you can edit with left click again, or you place a wall with left click and then you press right click faster to edit. Okay, so instead of placing the wall with left click, you place it with left click, right? And then instead of editing with left click, you just be able to press right. Do you think that would be faster?
My brain just didn't comprehend that at all.
Damn it.
To be honest. Wait.
It's almost one of those things you have to like really think about. So I guess like I gotta pick up my keyboard for this. So if I place a floor, okay, ready? I got my wall ready. If I place this wall, so you place the wall with left click, and I guess he's saying, wait, hold on. So the same goes for right click, select, edit. Hear me out. You place a wall with left click. You release left click so you can edit with left click again, or you place a wall with left click and then you press right click faster to edit. So wait, it'd be right click? No, because I still have to press edit. Wait, so you select the tiles with right click?
I think that's what he's saying, yeah.
Instead of left click?
So you can instantly edit after you place the build. I think that's what he's talking about, because your right click isn't like being used at the time.
would it be being used in the first place? Because what would you be using?
I guess he's saying to place the wall, your left click's being used.
Oh, so you have to let go of it to
Yeah. To edit.
place. Okay, so like I'm thinking about it. Place the wall. I've placed it, and then I let go and I edit, and then press it again. Maybe like it's one of those things that, again, I told you Chap was really thinking about. I think he switched to it for a little bit to try it. I don't know if he ultimately stayed on it, but it was like, those are the types of margins we're talking about in this fucking game back then. Like, people really wanted to be like a little bit better, or like find a meta, and they were thinking of ways to do it, and that was one of them. Like, just like the left click like tile, or the right click tile select was one of the things. I would trust AV on Fortnite, on anything Fortnite, but he lost me with that one. No, you're on keyboard too. It's different. He makes sense. He makes a good point, but also on keyboard, I would recommend it on release probably, I think. It might be a little bit faster. I get what you're saying. I love Fortnite theory. It makes perfect use of my philosophy to agree with my Fortnite passion. I don't even have a philosophy degree, but Fortnite theories are some of my favorite fucking, like, little things like that are some of my favorite. Dude, I remember, well, I still remember the call, like, very like vividly. I was in like a call on stream, I think, with a bunch of my like Fortnite friends. Maybe not, it might not have even been on stream. I think it was. And like, my buddy Deez was just so fast back then. Like, I don't know if you know who that is. You probably don't.
I don't.
He played squads with Squads FNCS. Did you watch any of that, or did you play that back in the day?
Yeah, I think I only watched Ron. Like.
Oh really? He played with Grandma Teets, who's another one of my friends, Npen and Hogman back then. He was like a...
Yeah, I know Npen and Hogman.
Yeah, like that's why I said them. I knew you'd know them. They were a decent squad though, and my buddy Deez and Teets were both on controller, and they were fucking some of the best in the game at the time. And Deez mechanically, a few seasons before that, was fucking nuts. Like, no one knew how he was editing so fast. I don't even know if edit and release existed or not back then. It might have, but he was just so much faster and like ahead of a lot of controller players. People were like, why is he so good? And I remember we were like theory crafting our binds in a call, like all just free building, and we were just talking to Deez in a call with like 8 controller players, and he was like, you guys don't use double edit binds? And we're like, what the fuck is double edit binds? And like, he explained to us how he edits, and we all were just like, oh my god. And every single one of us switched our binds, and we all started placing like super high. Like shit,
Yeah,
like that is so
you got
fun.
so good now. You guys seem like you would go through every little thing about the game, figure it out.
We had to back then, bro. It was so fun. We were all so good back then. We were like all like, as far as controller went, like there's probably like a 15 controller players, and I had a friend group with like 10 of them that were like at the top of the game, and we all just would sit in court and fucking play cash cups together, like box fight all day, and just think about the dumbest shit you could possibly imagine, like, and like stuff like that, bro. When he said the double edit binds, I mean, it literally opened up our entire world.
Yeah.
He was probably pissed that we all got really fucking good, and he was just like, god damn it, like I leaked the sauce.
Wait, how do you spell his name?
D-E-E-Z. It was literally just like D's nuts.
Because I know like a D-E-A-Z, I think.
No, it was literally D's. Like, that duo was so funny, bro. D's and Teets. Like, D's nuts and fucking Grandma Teets. And they were so gross at the game, dude. That was the day Assault switched all his binds, too. No, yeah, it was probably me, AV, Assault, Binny, maybe Diggy, Zunies.